right in the heart of a silver bullet.
Yeah. I think it's platinum, man. Don't wipe these feet when they get to the land. I feel a cold stare. Think I ain't looking. Maybe because I'm focused. No hands down for the homeless. Funny bullets, I caught two shots. Another piece of the puzzle connected dots. You can find the truth of that and liquor. One more shot to an empty bottle. If you don't walk there like a model for me, like I can see her intentions all in my scope. At a time we were just friends, with advice in hand. That's the show, dead broke. But we still got hope. Don't take my words, just back the issue that raw dough. Just back the issue that raw dough. Back the issue that raw dough. To the people that listen to my people, they know that I do care. With their hands in the air, rocking side to side. I'm all work, yeah, time to ride. Where my niggas at? My niggas ain't my niggas no more. Push me to the bag, label to change up his way. I do it for us, I'm full black. Don't rock it the sheet, yeah. New beats, all type of African shit. Just rock it, take a fade. Swag I tell a man. Polo colors and black kings. Just polo colors and black kings. Exclusive shit, not get with it. Keep it coming, just don't stop. The revolution starts with a shot. Bang.
And I'm gonna represent my people. And I don't want to be a bad representative. I can't be blind, because the blind lead the blind, they all follow me.
Now my mama said, baby, act like you got sense. He act like I only act right for Lent. Been living in purgatory, brown nose of a heaven. Not sure if I'm getting in, cause I ain't paid the reverend. Who looking at me when I ain't looking, judging my character? I can't put down my guard on this planet, back in the camera. Ready for my close-up, the lens gets bigger. Won't put me on BET, cause I am not a nigga. My heart is like a powder keg, ready to explode. Smell like strange fruit, cause I'm America's cologne. It started with the hello, think you're a nice fellow. You're ballin' like Carmelo, we treat you like Othello. LARs, we the stars, turn a rapper to a prophet. Bulletproof 306, keep your hands in your pocket. Jordan rules for my life, you contain them, can't stop them. I'm in the sky high, so the clouds can't drop them. My life is like a vertical, my words are just superior. I'm edible, I'm audible, I'm digital, I'm visual. Spit like Komodo, go like Bruce Lee, Roy B, and the meanest bad as Bobo in the dojo. Life is so amazing and raps like Jesus. They said hip-hop is dead, but today look like Easter.
Salute to everybody in the chat. Welcome, family. Welcome back to the Black Ocean. This is your host, the Great Black Shark. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, we got somewhat of a late start today because, as you all probably know, my brother Tariq Nasheed just wrapped up a very excellent broadcast. If you are just coming in and you missed that broadcast, I recommend you go check that out on the Brothers Tariq radio channel. Very important information over there, family. And so I'd like to greet all of you that are coming into the chat room. As you'll see, there's a couple of links in the chat. The one to my only official Rumble channel. I want you all to go over there and sub to that channel because as soon as we hit 100 subs over there, we are going to be cooking uncensored with fish grease on a range of different subjects. I have some content coming up. Like I said, in fact, the broadcast that I had on Patreon, as I told you all, the one that I did about the child abuse situation, I'm going to be covering that in more detail on the Rumble channel. As soon as we hit that 100 subs, I'm going to drop that live over there. But tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we have to get into something that I've been meaning to discuss for quite some time. And we got to talk about these B.B.L zombies. Oh, we got to go here with it. Because I did this thread on Twitter a while back. Some of you that are over here from my main channel, you probably remember me posting it on my community wall as I usually do. And there was a couple of people in the comment section that kind of had an issue with what I was saying. So I said, you know what? I'm going to do a broadcast and thoroughly break this down and explain exactly why I said what I said. Because we're going to have some medical facts here in this broadcast about that tonight, too. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and get into this tweet here because I did a thread on this. So I'm going to break the thread down bit by bit, and we're going to get into the medical facts about it. So as you see, this is the first tweet in the thread I did on my Twitter account. If you're not following me over there, this is my @handle on there. You can go ahead and follow me on Twitter to keep up with everything. So I made the statement, be thankful for the chicks who run to get BBLs, the Brazilian butt lifts. They make it easy for intelligent brothers to spot the morons among women. Yes, I said it that way. Think they're willing to risk their lives for aesthetic gratification. Do you really want them to be around you long term? Worse yet, have kids with them. Now, you would think that that's self-explanatory, right? That's what you would think. Well, a couple of people really didn't get why I said that. So let me tell you why. First things first, I made this statement saying it for the brothers that are actually accomplished and productive, okay? Because usually those brothers, when they choose a sister to get with, start a relationship with, okay, they're not trying to have her be something she's not, okay? And see, unfortunately today, a lot of our sisters out here always lump all of us brothers in one category. What they do is say, okay, because there's some dusty niggas, like my brother just got finished talking about on his broadcast, there's some dusty niggas that like all that goofy extraness. We're going to get into it tonight. They like all that goofy extraness, so they say, well, that's just black men, period. We got to cut that out. Nah, for the women that applies to, because I know all sisters don't do that. We got to cut that out. Don't lump all brothers into one category because, see, I made this statement, too, on the comment section of my post on my main YouTube channel, which we will be back on this weekend, ladies and gentlemen. I made this statement. For the sisters out here that want the productive guys, look at those guys and the women they choose. They don't choose women with the extra long nails, the lashes, all that. We're going to get into that. You know what, fact of business. Let's get to the next section of this tweet. We're going to really break this down here and see, after tonight, the people that was confused about it, they going to choose to be confused because I'm going to thoroughly explain this. Okay, so now, here we are. What I'm saying in the second half of this. Now, let's be clear. If you're a goofy dude who is choosing women based on ass size, you won't comprehend this thread. Men who have built and are building legacies do not take B.B.L buffoons seriously. They're not only foolish, but lazy. Neither of those traits serve a man well. Now, why did I make that statement? I'm going to tell you why I made it. Because, see, it should be self-explanatory, but to some people it's not. So we're going to get it crystal clear tonight. The brothers that are building legacies, okay, trying to not only do well for themselves, but for their families and the ones they intend to start, they're not going to choose women who are the first teachers of children that are irresponsible, that have a whole bunch of insecurity issues about how they naturally look. Now, let's be clear. If you're an adult, you can do whatever you want. I'm not telling you not to do it. If you're a sister that find this broadcast or whatever, and that's what you're into, you can do whatever you want. You're a grown adult. So let me make that clear. But I'm telling you this now straight up in case you hear it nowhere else. Once you make certain decisions like that, it's going to subtract from the type of men that you're able to qualify for. Because the brothers that carry themselves with a certain level of standards, they're not looking for that. I promise you they're not. Take a look at Denzel Washington's wife. I'm just using him for an example. Just a basic example. Most sisters find the brother attractive, okay? They're not looking for that. Denzel's wife don't look like these buffoons out here, nor do these other brothers that are very successful that are married to black women, okay? We talking about these brothers, all right? That's not what they're looking for. So let's get to the next segment of this thread. We're going to make this crystal clear tonight. Ain't going to be no confusion about this thread after this broadcast is over. So now, next section, I'm breaking down some stuff. And again, hit dogs will holler. I'm going to say it before I read this. If the shoe don't fit, I'm not talking to you. And you can do whatever you want to do. You can do everything on this list that I'm telling you. But you better be prepared for what I'm telling you. Because, like, the brothers that are about something, this is how we think. Multicolored fake hair, fake magic marker eyebrows, okay? The ones where you shave your natural brows off and you magic marker some new ones on. Fake caterpillar eyelashes that look like they're going to jump off your eyelashes at any given time, okay? Tats, especially in certain places, okay? And see, let's be clear about that. If you got one or two little small ones, okay, you know, most brothers will let that slide. So that, okay, the only way that a person would know you got that is if you take your clothes off or you got a bathing suit on or something. A lot of brothers, okay, be like, all right, she got one or two, I'll let that slide. If you running around here looking like a damn tapestry though, you got these sleeves on and all on your back shit, like stuff that you can't cover up with clothing, just know you can do whatever you want, just as I said. But don't be surprised when the type of men that you want to pull ignore you completely or don't take you serious. I'm just telling you like it is. Like I said, whatever you want, I'm going to give you the truth. Get to the next thing on the list. The wrap the claw nails. And I'm going to go here with it because any brother that listens to this live or recorded is going to agree with what I'm about to say. We may not say it up front to your faces, but when we see that, the wrap the claw toucan Sam nails. Salute to you, sister Cheryl Bryan in the chat. I see you. The wrap the claw long toucan Sam nails. When we see that, the first thing we do is say, how do you wipe your ass properly? Because this is a legitimate question. We're like, okay, if you got nails like this, how do you really take care of business sanitary wise? Okay. I'm gonna give you the truth. Like a lot of people scared to give it here tonight. Excessive fake up or makeup, as I call it. Ladies, listen to me. The brothers that are productive, that are about something, let me make this clear. And a lot of guys don't really do what I'm about to do here tonight. We have to draw this line of demarcation between us and the goofball niggas that don't have nothing going on. A brother that's about something. Let's explain something about men in general. A brother that's about something, if he chooses a sister to give his time and interest into what have you, he don't really want to see you with a whole bunch of excessive makeup. And makeup should be used in a brother's mind, okay? Because women may see this differently, but I'm trying to give you some game from the brothers who are productive. Brothers are like, okay, use that to, slightly highlight your features. Your face should not look like a clay mask, okay? Because, see, here's the reason why a lot of men have an issue with that. Because a lot of women be like, well, why y'all worrying about what women have? I'm going to tell you something. the reason why men have opinions on this, if we're the ones that are choosing the long-term girlfriends and wives, we telling you what we like and what we don't like. And again, this is a difference between a productive man's mindset and a dusty nigga's mindset. Okay? So here's the reasons why productive men don't want our women to have a bunch of excessive makeup. Again, we understand it's a natural part of our feminine culture for women to wear makeup, but it should only be to accentuate features, not change your face, not so thick to the point that we can tell that you got a bunch of it on. One, we don't really see what you look like naturally, which is what we want to be attracted to, the natural you, okay? Again, this is the mindset of a man that's worth a damn, not a dusty ass nigga that's attracted to video hoes, okay? So now here's the thing. This is something that a lot of sisters don't consider. And I'm telling you this for the sisters that got some sense. I ain't trying to talk to the hard heads. Again, grown folks can do whatever they want to do. I'm talking to the sisters that might want to appreciate this, whether it's live or recorded, and say, you know what, brother, I never thought about it that way. Because I'm not one of those channels that I pick on my people, the men or the women. I try to give advice that help our people, okay? So here's the other reason, ladies, and I want y'all to pay close attention to why brothers don't take or won't take women with excessive makeup and all this stuff on this list seriously. If you got on all this fake stuff down to the makeup, okay? If that brother starts a family with you, let me tell you what the men are thinking about. The serious men that do want to start families. Those brothers are saying, you know what? If she's uncomfortable and so insecure that she can't never be around the house or in her natural attire as she is with her natural hair, natural nails, without all the excessive makeup, here's what y'all ladies don't understand. If you have a little girl, that gives her a complex if she never see mommy with her natural hair. See, a lot of y'all don't get that. A serious-minded brother is like, well, damn, I don't want our little girl thinking something is wrong with her natural hair that come out of her head. Because, see, you need to think about the mindset of a little child, especially a little girl. We're going to go here with it. I'm going to cover how it affects the little boys, too. But the little girls, they're looking at it like, okay, why is my hair doesn't look like mommy hair? Okay, she's thinking about this very young. So now think about her going to school, especially in this age and era. People be picking on the little girl or whatever, you know what I'm saying? That you see, a woman has to instill pride, especially in the little daughters, because you are the example of womanhood for her. Okay, she's learning all of that from mommy. She can't learn that from daddy. Daddy is there to protect and provide. We can't teach little girls how to be women. We can give them good advice. We can tell them what they should and shouldn't do. But as far as womanhood in general, that's for the women that we choose to be the mothers of our children and wives to teach. So if you so insecure that you can't never show what you naturally look like, especially our kids, brothers taking that to account like, damn, I don't never get to see you just regular. Okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? I put you in the not serious box because like the last part of this thread says, all of that communicates don't take me seriously to productive men. Key word, to productive men. All of that's on this list. Let's run through it again. Multicolored fake hair, fake magic marker eyebrows. You done shaved your natural ones off and magic marker some on. Fake caterpillar lashes, tats excessively in certain places. The raptor claw nails where we got the question how you wipe your backside. Excessive fake up. All of that communicates, okay, this is a clown. I'm not going to take her serious. She has not matured enough yet to be in no long-term relationship or marriage with anybody. Salute to you, sister Mrs. L, coming in the chat. I see you. I see you. So I'm just telling you how men see that are worth a damn. Now, again, I'm going to say it another time. If you grown, you can do what you want to do. Understand that the choices that all of us make, though, have consequences. Before I get to the next section, let me tell you how it affects the little boys, okay? Because this is rarely talked about. Because that what I explained about the daughters looking at their mother a certain way, that should be common sense. But this is how it affects the little boys. If the little boys see his mom with all that stuff on and she don't never take that stuff off, understand that that's his initial example of how a lady should conduct herself, how his mother treats her father, how his father treats their mother. Okay. These are all the initial stages of these children's development come from what they see at home. So now, if that's all he see mama with, it's what you raising. Oh yeah, I'm gonna go here with it. You raising a little dude that's gonna go out here and that's all he gonna chase. Like, in other words, a lot of sisters complain about the dudes that only want to see them that way. But what kind of upbringing did they have? Because see, think about this. He's going to see you like that. And, you know, if the little boy say, okay, mama look nice or whatever, hey, you know, I'm going to try to find me a girl that's similar to mama, okay? As far as, like, how she carry herself or whatever, as far as her looks and all of that. So, this little boy grows up, and now when he see natural sisters out here, he think that's ugly. Because what was his initial home training? Am I making sense, family? Do y'all get what I'm saying? Do y'all get what I'm trying to tell you here, right? So that's how it affects the little boys, man. See, we have to be mindful of these things. And see, I'm breaking this down because a lot of sisters don't really hear anybody say, hey, this is the difference between the way a productive man with standards thinks versus a dusty nigga that just chasing any and everything out here. Okay, so let's get to the next one here. Get to the next one. We got to break this all the way down tonight. Gonna make it make sense, like the cliche saying goes. Now, here's the good news about the B.B.L buffoons, okay? To the sisters out here, because I see the other half of this. I know sisters that often espouse the sentiment, and I'm gonna just say it like it is. Y'all know the sentiment where y'all be like, the hoes is winning. The hoes is winning. No, they're not. No, they're not. And I'm not calling all the chicks that got the BBLs hoes, but we know what you get them for. I get it if you're an entertainer and like that's your line of work. You a stripper, whatever the heck you're doing. Hey, knock yourself out. Just understand that men of a certain caliber aren't going to take you serious. But let's get to the good news for the regular sisters out here that's not risking their lives to go under the damn night, because we finna get to that in this broadcast tonight too with facts. Okay? I'm going to read this to you, and I want y'all to pay attention. Sisters seeking productive brothers, you too be glad the B.B.L buffoons and those indulging in the list above or previously are doing so. Why? All you have to do is the opposite. They've done you a great favor and marked themselves as ineligible to be taken seriously for productive men. Your lane is clear. Carpe diem. That is Latin for seize the day. That's what carpe diem means, for those of you who do not know. I shouldn't even have to add any explanation to this, but I will. See, ladies, today, let's get something straightened out. For those of you that are looking for decent, productive men, it's easier than ever for you to get them. You know why? See, give y'all some game on something, especially the younger sisters. And I'm going to tell you from the mindset of a productive black man. Today, if you want to land them kinds of brothers, don't try to look like all the other chicks with all the fake stuff and everything on that list that I just described. No, absolutely not. That's not what you want to do. You want to present yourself as, when you walk into the room, if all of them are looking like the same little default chick, salute to my brother, Marcus. Y'all should go and check that brother out on YouTube. He called him the default bitch. That's what he said. Look, I'm just saying, the default chick. I'm going to change it to the default chick for the purpose of this broadcast. If everybody's looking like the default chick with fake weave and lashes, y'all seen the list that we just went through. Let me tell you what you do, sisters. This grown woman shit right here. Say you go to a venue. We're going to use this scenario. Say you go to a venue, upscale restaurant. Just going to throw that out there. All right. You going out and you say, you know what? I'm trying to stretch my legs, see what I can see what's out here. Okay. If all them chicks in there look like the default chick, show you how you come into the building. I mentioned this rule of thumb, especially to younger sisters that are interested in getting the serious attention of productive black men. I'll say that over and over again. Productive black men, not just any man. This is a rule of thumb you follow with your attire. use your makeup. Don't overdo it. Okay? Get your eyebrows contoured naturally. Don't shave your eyebrows off and magic marker none on. Just get your natural stuff contoured. Get you a decent nail set. Nothing looking like Toucan Sam with a whole bunch of crazy colors. Get you something grown woman looking. Okay? Have you a very, very professional perfume on. Okay? I recommend one called Diesel Lover Dose. That's one. Look, I'm finna give y'all some real game here. Trust me. You try this out. You be like, damn, he was right. All right. Next, as far as your attire, I'm gonna give you a general rule of thumb today that really just knock the rest of these B.B.L buffoons out the water because they come out dressing just like strippers. And then why the good man don't pay me no attention other than one thing? Because you wearing the uniform of a hoe. So you gonna get the attention that hoes get. This is how you get men to take you seriously with your attire. If you gonna have some chest and cleavage showing up top, then everything below needs to be covered. If you gonna wear a dress where you got a little bit of thigh showing, or it's gonna have some skin showing down below, all the top need to be covered. Don't show it all off at one time. Like the old saying goes, leave something to a man's imagination. You come in there and you've done everything on that list, like I said, you can come in there by yourself, just sit down. Watch the attention that you get from men. Oh boy, I'm trying to tell you, listen, let me tell you how serious it is if you do this right in the right environment. Let me tell you how hard this is, right? This is what's gonna happen. Even if those chicks with the B.B.L archetype are getting attention, when you step into that room, heads will turn. They'll be like, oh, who is this sister? She done walked in here smelling good and some grown woman cologne. Her attire look like she grown. She ain't got a bunch of fat. I need to go over and talk to her. I'm just telling you. Don't believe me. Put it to the test and see if I'm telling the truth or not. I'm just making it clear to you. Because see, a lot of brothers, they ain't gonna really want me to do this broadcast because like I'm only gonna keep it a buck with you. A lot of the dudes that just looking to lay up with some, they're like, man, don't educate them on that. Let them keep being foolish. Hey, that's easier for us. I'm trying to help you if you try to get them to take you seriously. Okay? You can use that formula I just gave you in any place where there's productive men at. Watch how different they treat you versus the other women that's in there with everything showing all over the place with the fake bodies and all of that. I'm just trying to tell you now. Don't listen to me. Put it to the test. Okay? So now let's get to the next part of this, right? See, I had to break this down because I didn't think I was going to have to do a broadcast on this. But then when I started seeing all these hit dogs hollering, I was like, okay, cool. Let me go ahead and make sure and make it plain. So now, the last part of the thread, this is the part that's really going to make some hit dogs holler. But look, like I said, the shoe fit, I'm not talking. If shoe don't fit, I'm not talking to you. Brothers who are accomplished and consistently building have this reaction to the aforementioned type of women. Oh, she's cute. Bless her immature, undeveloped, virtually useless heart. Well, gotta go. Oh yes, that's exactly how we see you. That's an inside joke most won't admit. Let me tell you something right now. You better listen to me and never forget this. If you don't like what I'm saying, cool, don't like it. I'm telling you the truth. The productive men look at you as a joke. We not thinking, yeah, boy, I gotta get her, boy. Look, productive men ain't choosing women based off their ass size, okay? I'm telling you that right now. Are we men? Does that get our attention? Sure, but you got to bring more to the table as a woman than that. See, the productive men do not think like dusty niggas that get excited just by how you look. How you look will get you in the door with us, but we looking at, okay, can she put a decent sentence together? What's her attire looking like? Let's see what her intelligence level is. Okay, like, cool, y'all like how you look, but all right, yeah, that's only 50% of it. What's this other 50% you working with? Let's see that. What are your manners like in public? How are you treating people around you in a venue like a restaurant? Are you rude to the service? We got a lot that we processing through our minds. See, I'm going to tell y'all something right now. And I want to say this to encourage the sisters that's always talking about, man, it look like the hoes winning. Let me tell you something. Even if they do get the attention of the productive brothers, it's only temporary. They not getting married. They not marrying them. I'm going to say it like it is. Look, brothers, don't get mad. I got to do this once and tell the truth. All they going to do is smash, and then it's going to be, don't call you back no more. That's what look, most of them chicks that look like that, ask yourself this question. Why you don't ever see them with them types of dudes? They're the same type of productive brothers. He don't stay consistent. I'm trying to tell you he don't. She may go get another one, but then it's the same cycle, and then that's when they get married. The black men ain't shit. No. How about this? Maybe, just maybe you carried yourself like you wasn't shit. I'm going to say it again. Maybe, just maybe, you carried yourself like you wasn't shit. Ladies and gentlemen in here, live or recorded, let me ask you a question, family. If one of us put on a police officer uniform and go stand on the corner, and people come up to us asking us for directions or help, and then we turn around and act surprised about it, okay, well, that's what we wearing. They thought that's what we were, right? So my point is, if you don't want to be treated like women that ain't shit, don't look that way. And you know what? I didn't even realize our brother Tariq Nasheed was going to do that broadcast touching on that. I didn't even know it was going to kind of correlate with what I'm talking about here tonight. But he was basically in a portion of his broadcast. Again, go check it out on his Tariq radio channel. He was talking about looking the part for success. And that applies to men and women. Okay? You can't sit here and wear the uniform and the attire of somebody that's dusty and expect to get non-dusty attention. Don't work like that. Okay? Real talk. So now, I'm going to tell you, oh yeah, sister, yeah, Mrs. L, default chick. You know what I'm saying? My boy Marcus, you know what? Let me put his, I'm going to pause right here. I'm going to put that brother's channel link. He's a comedian. He goes by Marcus on YouTube. Good brother, man. He does the show with his mother, Miss Jonay. I'm about to put his channel link, you know what I'm saying, in the chat, and I want all of y'all to go there and subscribe, man. Let me tell you something. If you need a good laugh and you want to watch a show that's got some good common sense, it's called The Mainstream. Okay, that's his show name. I'm finna put his link in the chat. And man, when he said that, I was like, oh my God, that's the funniest shit ever. Because like when you look at them, they all trying to look like this one default chick. It's sad, man. I mean, and we like, you know, see, I'm finna drop this link to the brother channel in the chat. I want y'all to go subscribe. There it is right there, right? So here's the deal. What men want to see today, we want the times where our women had some originality. You know, I'm a Gen Xer, right? That's why I kind of feel sorry for the younger brothers of this generation. And look, to you sisters that's into that, look, I'm not picking on you. I'm just letting you know how the productive men see you. Because I ain't got a dog in the fight. I'm happy. I'm good. I'm just trying to help you out for those that didn't understand this thread. But see, the younger brothers, they don't really get to see any originality amongst the women anymore. See, let me go here with it too before we get into the medical half of this broadcast. Sadly, and I know this don't apply to all sisters because when I speak, I never say all of anybody, okay? I don't generalize like that. I'm talking about the segment of women in our society that it applies to. When you look on most social media today, okay, if it ain't just outright OnlyFans, and them chicks ain't gonna never be taken seriously by good dudes. They might get a few dudes that'll trick off on them, but they ain't none of them finna get married to nobody. You will never see an OnlyFans chick with a Denzel type guy that marries them. I'm just gonna make that flat out. So let's get that out the way. But here's the thing, right? With social media today, like Instagram or what have you, there used to be a time. And this is the bad part about social media and this segment of women that it applies to. There used to be a time where, okay, if you were going to see all that like you see today on there, you would have had to do that in person. Like you would have had to really get to know that chick. Even if she was a thot, you would have had to get to know her and physically be in her presence to see all of that. What social media did with that segment, they all hopped on there. Now it's just every time you turn around and look, men gonna look. All straight men are gonna look at you. Every picture that you got, your ass is turned around, then some with that immature flipping a bird at the camera. Let me tell you something. You want to be taken like a joke? Let a man go on your social media and see you got a grown woman with a picture of you flipping a bird. Okay, you're gonna be looked at as a child. You basically let me keep it all the way 100 with you. Because see, what you're looking at on this screen with this tweet, I was kind of mild with it. For a certain caliber of man that are like mobilely upward, productive men, you invisible. Like, we look, y'all might not believe this, but the kind of brothers that I'm talking about that are my friends, they won't even entertain you just to sleep with you. They'll be like, that'll take a hit to my reputation. I can't even, like, I ain't gonna be rude to you, but no, we'll dap you up when we say, hey, what's happening? You know, that's what you gonna get. I know y'all don't think that exists, but I'm trying to tell you, brothers that really care about their reputation, they're gonna be like, no, player, I can't do it. No, because see, people gonna be asking me questions if I get seen with you. Call it what you want, say he wrong. I'm just telling you like it is, good, bad, right, wrong. I'm just saying that's the truth. A lot of people get mad when men tell them the truth about that kind of shit, but that's the truth. Okay, so back to like the social media part of this. When you get on there and everything is just all out in the open like that, you desensitize them brothers, man, to the point where now you're not special anymore. See, taking your clothes off, sisters out here, especially you young ones, taking your clothes off, that's supposed to be something special. If you all on Instagram like that, and Lord help you if you got OnlyFans, don't you dare expect the man to take you seriously, because there's nothing special anymore. You've already shown the world what should be only for him. Now, how on earth are you going to expect him to treat you like you special when you don't treat you like you special? Am I making any sense? Do you hear me one? Like my brother TBA would say, do you hear me one? How are you going to expect to be taken seriously when you don't treat you special? You can't really expect nobody to do that. That wouldn't even make logical sense. I'm just telling you the truth. Okay? So, if you want to stand out, do the opposite of what them chicks do. Don't be that chick where you don't, because see, look at what that communicate to yourself. Yeah, you having fun, but you gonna have to accept what comes along with having fun if you gonna put all that out there, because that's saying that, okay, you really don't value the most intimate parts of yourself. Now, I'm not saying if you at a beach and you in a bikini, don't take no pictures. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying minimize that. You know what I'm saying? Don't let that be everything. And you got to have more to you than that. And I get it. I'm not picking. I like to speak to my people with love and understanding. I understand that in a system of white supremacy, when you start to flip that and look at how it affects our women, all of us are beaten down in this system of white supremacy to the point that it damages your self-esteem if you're not around the right people, if you don't have the right knowledge of yourself, so that doesn't affect you. And one of the things that I see today, just my personal opinion, due to a lot of our sisters being under that negative stress of the system of white supremacy, when the world started to really pay attention to our women's backsides, that was like, okay, finally, I'm getting some type of positive attention. People are paying attention to me. This makes me feel good, what have you. Yes, cool, no problem. But you still manage that as if it's special. If you got a naturally shapely figure, okay, you can't help that. You can't help that. You know what I'm saying? Salute to Sister Goddess Navia. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right, sister. But if you got a naturally curvy figure, you can't help that, because there are some very curvaceous women out here. You can't help how you're naturally born. But what you can do is dress decent, okay? And let me make this part clear too. I am in no way, shape, or form trying to imply or allude that if you dress a certain way, that means men gonna harass you, because now I don't give a damn how a woman dressed. You ain't got no business trying to put your hands on her unless she give you permission to do that. So let me make that clear for somebody clip that out and say, see, that's what he trying to imply. Never that. Anybody that knows my content know better than that with me. So I'm just putting that part in there to get that out the way. But as far as how you are treated, though, yes, your attire as a woman does have a lot to do with that, okay? And some of you may not consider it fair, but hey, life ain't fair. Life don't care about none of our feelings, okay? So what we do, if we're smart, we look at the world, both men and women, okay, but we talking about the sisters here tonight. Both men and women look at the world and say, okay, I'm not going to take the world for what I want it to be. I'm going to accept the world for what it is, and I'm going to move accordingly, okay? Especially if you're trying to get what you want out the world, okay? So I hope that made everything in that thread clear, because now we're going to get into the medical part of this, and I'm going to do this the right way. I'm going to do it this way, because I want this to be something that the younger sisters who may not have this information or who have, don't have nobody to sit them down and gain them up, or they just too busy going along with the crowd to even learn about this, because y'all would be surprised that in the age of the smartphone, I call it the age of the smartphone and the dumbass. You'd be surprised, men and women, we got information at the tip of our fingers like our ancestors could never even dream about. A lot of people get so busy, caught up following behind trends in a crowd, especially our young people who are vulnerable and impressionable. They never look up a lot of this information that I'm about to read. So without further ado, we're going to get into an article with some facts. Now, I have a very intelligent audience. Okay, so I know most of you are probably already familiar with this information, but bear with me. I'm doing the broadcast so it educates others that may find this, okay? And please do hit that like button and share this. Like I said, this is the secondary channel. We will be doing content over here and on the main channel. We'll be back over there this weekend. I'm going to start utilizing this channel a lot more. So with that said, here's the article, right? Brazilian butt lifts are the deadliest of all aesthetic procedures. The risk explained. Let's read these risks. The desire for a larger bottom is becoming more popular, with the number of so-called Brazilian butt lifts more than doubling in the last 5 years. However, a recent high-profile case involving a doctor in Miami who was banned from operating after the death of a patient, and a lot of y'all probably remember this, but see, I'm choosing this for a reason, right? Because I want to educate. I want to educate, because see, if you don't know something, you just don't know. And unless somebody is willing to break that down and take time and explain it to you, then you won't get information. So continuing. During the death of a patient, during surgery, highlights the risks associated with having this procedure. According to the American Society of Plastic Surgeons, the Brazilian butt lift, B.B.L, has the highest rate of death of all aesthetic procedures, okay? Now, y'all heard what they just stated. It has the highest rate of death of all aesthetic procedures. So now, if you don't need to get this surgery for like practical medical reasons, then it's not something that you need to get. You can get the same results. Well, you know what? I'll get into that at the end. Let's continue reading. What is a Brazilian butt lift? Some people have a BBL for aesthetic reasons, but many have it after losing lots of weight, serious disfigurement, or pelvic trauma, or practical problems such as holding up trousers. The procedure involves taking fat from areas of the body where it's not wanted and transplanted it into the glutes to enlarge them. Okay. So now this is a medical article from professionals. This ain't my opinion. Everything that I'm finna read to you this point on, this is medical people talking right here. I'm putting this out here from the medical experts. All right. So here's the deal. To be successful, a fat graft needs nutrition. See, this is the part a lot of people don't get. And so has to be injected into tissue that has a blood supply. Fat can survive if injected into other fat, but up to 90% of it can be absorbed if it is. Fat has more chance of staying in place if it is inserted into muscle. But this is where the risk lies, okay? Please, 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 young sisters, if you find this broadcast, pay attention to what I'm about to read you next. Injecting fat into the buttock can easily lead to serious problems if done incorrectly. These include a fat embolism when fat enters the bloodstream and blocks a blood vessel. In the lungs, for example, it blocks oxygen from entering the bloodstream. While in the brain, it can cause a stroke. Both can be fatal. I'm going to say that last part again. Both can be fatal. Meaning that you go get this surgery done by somebody that's not a certified professional, you could be checking out of here if it's done the wrong way. And unfortunately, we've seen that. And I don't want to see none of our sisters checking out of here before their time. Believe it or not. See, I'm going to say something to y'all before I read the rest of this, right? I'm going to say this to y'all before I read the rest of this. Believe it or not. There are some brothers out here, and I think y'all know it when you see it or hear it. There's some brothers, when we speak to y'all about something, it's not done because we hate you. We're telling you the truth because we love you. Listen, let me tell y'all something, man. Even the chicks that have that look that I just described, I don't want to see nothing bad happen to those sisters, man. I don't wish no harm on none of them. So that's why I'm doing the broadcast, to give the information for the people like, hey, listen, you need to understand what the risk is. Is it worth it? You can go to a gym and eat right and get yourself to a certain, look, if you want that extra look back there. And then, ladies, let me tell you something else, right? Even if you do eat a certain way, start gaining weight the right healthy way, even if you work out and you improve to a certain level, two things I want to say to y'all if no other brother says it on any of their broadcasts, right? Sometimes the way you are is just enough. Ain't nothing wrong with trying to improve yourself if you can, especially if it's safely done. But sometimes accepting the way you are is just enough. If you healthy, okay? Sometimes all you have is what you going to have. Work that, okay? Work that. It's not worth going under the knife and potentially, even if the certified surgeons sometimes mess up sometimes with this stuff, man, because this is serious business. Y'all heard what the risks are with it, okay? Sometimes you is just enough. And two, stop trying to compete with other women. Do what you do. Be an original. See, unfortunately, in our community, a lot of our sisters, man, never leave the high school mentality. They stay in a mind frame where they want to stay competing with other women. Salute to you, sisters. Quick. I see you in the chat there. Salute to you. But a lot of times, some sisters want to stay in that high school mind frame where they're competing with other women. We got to get out of that, man. Be you. Never be afraid to be an original. You were put here as one of a kind. You're a one of a kind model. That's okay for you to feel important with that. Embrace celebrating the little things about yourselves. I get it. You trying to be attractive to a certain type of man that you want, or worse, you trying to impress a bunch of chicks, man. Listen, man, y'all women, I ain't got to tell y'all. Y'all see how, what is it really worth impressing a group of women? You know what I'm saying? Because see, men, we get this. We don't give a damn about what other dudes really think about us as long as we productive and making sure we taking care of business. But women, before you go and risk something like this kind of surgery to impress a bunch of chicks that really don't mean nothing to you or don't really like you anyway, ask yourself what for, and also ask yourself this question: who are they that I have to prove a damn thing to? See, somebody need to talk to y'all like that from a place of love. And like I said, for the people that don't receive it, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the young sister that may find this, that's going through certain insecurities as she's developing. Listen to something positive and think. A lot of times in both halves of our society, the men and the women, before I continue this article, a lot of times what the problem is in both halves of our society, we don't stop to think. A lot of times if we just unplug from peer pressure, from what everybody else say, what this person say, or if I don't get this, I won't be looked at. Slow down. Think for a minute. Pause. Think. Just think. Is this worth it? Should I do it? Okay. And is this something I really want to do? See, you never make any decision because somebody else wants you to do it. You make that decision because you want to do it, okay? Especially something that's life or death. I think one of the saddest things in the world with this particular issue here, if somebody's doing this because of what other people think of them, and then they don't make it through that, oh God, that's a horrible way to go out, man. Don't be that person. So let's continue with the rest of the article. The volume of fat is also important. Most surgeons consider 300 milliliters, okay, slightly less than a can of soda, to be a safe amount. However, some more experienced surgeons use a much larger volume of fat that may be measured in liters. See, now this is where the real risk started to come in here, right? This is where that real risk started to come in here because, see, a lot of people just know the term because it's a popularized trend, but they don't know any of this medical information that we about to read right here tonight, right? So now we're about to get into why the mortality rate for this aesthetic surgery is so high. A 2017 survey of 692 surgeons from across the world investigated the rate of mortality among patients undergoing B.B.L. Throughout their careers, the surgeons reported 32 cases of death from a fat embolism and 103 non-fatal cases, but there are probably more that remain unreported. And you know it remain unreported if you're taking your behind down there to the Dominican Republic, which is the popular place they go. Some people go to Colombia to get these all under the table backdoor surgeries. Sisters, it's not worth it. Young sister, don't you get caught up in that. If you have any procedure done to yourself, it's better for you to save your money and get it done by somebody that's certified and trained. Don't take yourself down there and end up dying on some operating table over an aesthetic procedure that you don't need. Let's continue. The fat embolism was recently identified as the leading cause of death in aesthetic surgery. The estimated death rate from fat embolism may be as high as 1 in 3,000 for BBLs. A 2015 study of deaths from BBL surgery concluded that they probably occur as a result of gluteal blood vessels becoming damaged during the procedure, allowing fat to enter the bloodstream. Okay? So now, y'all see what the medical professionals are saying here. They've done the surveys on this. They got the numbers out here. The reason why I'm making sure I include this information, this is the stuff that a lot of people don't think about when you hear this one phrase come out their mouth. I want. When you hear somebody, I want, they don't never stop to think, especially younger people. If you see, and that goes for any of us, we should stop to think. Just because you want something. What's the old saying? Just because you can do something doesn't mean you should. Okay? That's an old adage that could save a lot of people with a lot of things, not just this. So let's continue. The authors recommended that the buttocks lipo injection should be performed very carefully, avoiding injections into deep muscle planes. Deaths in the U.S. have caused concern. In one recently reported case in the U.S. that led to the death from a fat embolism, surgeons believe injections had been made into superficial fat, but at postmortem, fat was found in the heart and lungs. There was also some evidence of damage to gluteal blood vessels. However, it should be noted that the fat was also injected into muscle for some breast enhancement surgery with no reported deaths. This suggests that there are other factors involved in the high mortality rate among BBL patients. So now, as you see again, something go wrong with that. That doesn't just stay back there. That travels through your arteries straight to your heart and your lungs. It is not worth it. Salute to my brother Kid Gravity. I see you coming in, brother. But yeah, see, we got to talk about these things, man, because like a lot of people really don't put this kind of information out here. They don't really cover this part of it. Everybody just know what it is and know that it's a trendy thing, but are we covering the safety aspects of it? You see what I'm saying? We should always cover the safety aspects of anything, okay? So let's continue reading, right? Let's continue reading. Most of these deaths appear to have been caused by inappropriately qualified practitioners, yes, like we just mentioned, working in non-approved facilities with a sanitary issue and infection, okay, including homes and garages. Other post-surgery problems such as gangrene, and you know you're in trouble, you get that, and sepsis, which is blood poisoning, can be fatal. Now, we're going to get into this section. Is it worth the risk? The potential risk of death from a fat embolism has to be weighed against the benefits, especially in cases where there are physical and functional benefits to having the surgery, which is not what most of these chicks are getting it for. Ain't nothing wrong with them. They just want a shortcut to having a bigger behind. Okay, this is not that. In the case of the Brazilian butt lift, perhaps the risks outweigh the benefits. Nevertheless, in a celebrity and beauty obsessed society, oh Lord, and see, that's what we was talking about earlier. That right there, man. I'm only talking about my people because, as I always say, I'm not worried about other communities. But this whole celebrity obsession thing, this is what goes into what I was explaining earlier about women that want that fake look all the time, especially around young daughters. Think about what you're putting into their heads, right? So let's continue. The procedure remains popular despite the risk, so it is important that surgeons make the risk of the procedure very clear to anyone considering it. Patient safety should always be the top priority, and surgeons need to do more to increase the safety of the procedure and lower the unnecessarily high mortality rate. But see, here's something we got to discuss, right? The only people that are going to really divulge that and take it seriously, and salute to you, Sister Linda Smith, for the Cash App. Salute to you, sister. I'm going to start shouting you all out during the streams. A lot of times when I get to rambling on here with this information. I just fly straight through it, but I don't want anybody to think that they're not appreciated over here. So salute to you, Sister Linda Smith. And I also do this before I go on further. Anytime you donate to any of my platforms, I understand that a lot of people might just want to do so anonymously. So if you just say, hey, just type a A or anonymous or what have you in the PayPal, Cash App, whatever, hey, I'll just, salute everybody and leave you anonymous. I try to respect how everybody wants to donate. Appreciate you all. But as I was saying, the only people that are going to divulge that information to their patients are the ones that actually care about their patients. See, the Hippocratic Oath isn't legally binding, it's morally binding. Okay? Say that again. The Hippocratic Oath is not legally binding, it's morally binding. So that means that these doctors who really believe in it are going to say, hey, look, okay, you came in to get this procedure. This is what you want. I understand this is what you're trying to do. Let me go through everything that could go wrong. Let's look at, should you get this? Are there alternatives? Do you need to do something before you get the surgery? See, a caring doctor, they ain't just worrying about the bag. He going to walk you through all of that. He going to say, okay, cool. If you decide to get it, it might be some preparation you need to do before we get it to make sure you safe, because they care about your health and safety. The people in the DR that's doing it behind closed doors and in garages and all this kind of stuff, they don't give a damn whether you die or not. All they care about is you get that money. And see, this is the messed up part about that, right? For the people that take that risk and go down there and get that kind of surgery, you got to pay them up front. So that means if you do die on the table, hey, it is what it is. I got my bag. I don't care nothing about your black ass coming down. I'm just telling you. Again, for the hard heads, do whatever you want. But I'm talking to the people that care about their health and safety, because I care about my people. Look, I'm just going to say it and make it plain again. Even you multi-colored, chicks in our society, I got love for y'all. I don't want nothing bad to happen to you. Now, I'm not going to date or marry you, but hey, I don't want nothing bad to happen to you. Your brother has love for you. I want to see you healthy and winning, even if you run around here looking like somebody in a Bozo the Clown, costume or what have you. Hey, that's your right to be a clown. We need entertainment from time to time. That's your role in life. I got jokes. I'm playing. I really do love y'all, though. I want y'all to stay safe. So you know what? I'm trying to make this point here, and I'm being somewhat facetious with it, but I just want people to understand the seriousness of this on all levels, especially on the medical end. And then as far as on the end, as far as you getting chosen by somebody, you need to understand exactly how certain types of men are going to see you. Okay? The truth ain't always sweet, but it's medicine. It's medicine for the soul. It'll help you. Okay? Medicine for the soul. It will actually help you. All right. So I had to run through that real quick here tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, that has brought the presentation to a close. I want to remind you all again of the holiday coming up this month, the Foundational Black American holiday. This is the first time we will be celebrating it. Autoretta December 24th. Okay. We're going to begin celebrating this. I want to remind you all again of the event coming up down in Tampa, Florida, hosted by our sister, Dr. Kenny, the Aretta Sister Run. I'll put the website in the chat now. You can go and sign up for the event. It is a virtual event where you can participate anywhere in the country, but the physical event is in Tampa, Florida. So also go and sign up and follow the Instagram. I'll put that link in the chat. Do go follow that Instagram. Salute to that sister. She gives a lot of good, thorough health information. You never follow our sister, Dr. Kenny, please go do so. But before we close this tonight, I'm saying this again because you never know as a content creator when what you say may be something that any person was looking for. And for any of you in the chat that are thinking about becoming content creators, I will leave you with this. There are some people that do this just to get likes, clicks, views, and money. Okay, cool. You can do that. I ain't got no problem with nobody getting paid for what they do. We should all be compensated for what we do if we're good at it. But then there are those that choose to impart the information to our people where we'll entertain you sometime, but it'll be something that, okay, you can take away from it, and it might be something that you can use. Okay? So if you are thinking about becoming a content creator, what are your motivations for doing it? That's my thing. So I hope that this broadcast uplifts, even if it made you chuckle a little bit, I hope it uplifts some of our young black sisters out here that are insecure about themselves Nothing is wrong with you as you naturally are, okay? And to you hardheads out here, let me tell you something too before we close this night. You leave these young sisters alone. Don't you misery love company. Don't you try to drag them to where you at because you wasn't gonna never listen to nobody, couldn't nobody tell you nothing. You leave them young sisters alone, and if you're not gonna give them information to help them be great, then just stay the fuck out their way. Let them be great. They got their whole lives ahead of them, and as young people, as we all were, we gonna all make mistakes. That's just a part of being young. But you don't want to make mistakes to the point that you can't take them back and it ruin your future for the rest of your life. So with that said, family, I'm going to wrap this up. Black first, salute to everybody in the chat. Salute to everybody that donated. I will see you all in future content.
There are a lot of misconceptions about Maroons. Typically in literature, whites will say that the Maroons were uncivilized, they were unorganized, they were lewd, they were barbaric. These were the people who lived in the bush.
There is no other group on the planet Earth that have taken on the devil the way we have, in his own house.
Some estimates say that there are about 50,000 Maroons that you can find per year throughout the Americas.
The Great Dismal Swamp was an area between that Virginia, North Carolina, the eastern border area. This was a popular area for a lot of not only runaways, but natives. A lot of the black natives hung out there. The Gullah Geechee were known in that area.
Because that's who we are. You can put us anywhere in the world. We are survivors.
If you are really tapped in with your environment and you become one with that ecosystem, right? You know what I'm saying? That ecosystem begins to work for you.
We were robbed of our definition of who we were, which is our nationality and our tribe. And we fell into the description of what we were from someone else's eyes.
Resistance is not just about not only violence and physically fighting back, but there has to be resistance literature, resistance language.
A whole 2 detachments of U.S. soldiers got mowed down by the Black Seminoles. They destroyed an entire U.S. military force. Out of 110 people, they killed 108. That's damn good shooting.
The Black Seminoles were using all types of guerrilla warfare tactics, and these warfare tactics are studied in military schools to this day.
They didn't like Muslim slaves. The same reason they didn't like Indian slaves, because they weren't afraid to die.
Once you realize you're not safe, your children and your families aren't safe, the people who you're bringing in the world are not going to be safe long after you, there becomes a need to stand up and survive at all costs.
We are the Maroons. We are today's Maroons. We are the force that's moving forward. We will never be stopped.